Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyra and today I'm bringing to you a video that's inspired by Tara Brook here on YouTube, and that is my summer faves and my fall wish list. If you have not yet checked out Tara Brook here on YouTube, I highly recommend her channel. She focuses on conscious consumerism, keeping her makeup collection curated, and just being honest about makeup and makeup brands, and I really like her channel. This is something that she's done a few times over where she shares a favorite from the season that is passing, and then she shares her wish list upcoming, as well as any items from the previous wish list that she did end up picking up in that season. So let's go ahead and get into my summer favorites. I tried to keep it minimal, but there is a lot of blush in here, if anybody's surprised. But I do have one complexion product, and that is the good old Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I have mine in the shade Light, and I just was blown away by this product this season. It's perfect. It has just enough hydration without looking dewy or moving around under my eyes. I don't have to set it, which is phenomenal. It also has the perfect amount of coverage for me, which is a solid medium coverage. It works beautifully both under the eyes as well as over blemishes and to conceal the melasma on my upper lip. So this was a huge win for me. I wish I would have tried this years ago when I first heard about it on YouTube. People were raving about it. I just was a snob, I guess, and thought it couldn't possibly be that good for under $5, but I'm here to tell you that it is. The bronzer of the season for me was the Clinique Powder Pop Flower Highlighter in the shade Solar Pop. As you can see, I have completely worn away the flower design in the middle, which is a little bit sad, but I really love this bronzer. It is not only a beautiful tone, but while it doesn't have any sparkle in it, it is definitely a luminous bronzer. When applied to the skin, it looks smooth. It's just so similar to their blush formula if you've ever used their Cheek Pop blushes, and I just love this. It is the bronzer that I'm wearing today, and I'm seriously considering putting it in my Shop My Stash to Move, even though I've already filmed that video and already put a bronzer in there. After using it again today, I just remembered how flawless it is, how easy to use it is. And again, it's just a beautiful sun-kissed tone. The formula is super duper smooth, but not so soft that it's hard to work with or scary or overly pigmented. So if you're looking for a bronzer, I do highly recommend this one. All right, let's get into about 10,000 blushes, shall we? The first formula of blush that I absolutely fell in love with this summer was the Opiu Juicy Pang Water Blushers. You can purchase these on YesStyle. I happened to purchase mine on Amazon. I did pay a little bit more by ordering them on Amazon, but the shades that I wanted were always out of stock on YesStyle, so I had to get my hands on them. I have the shade Grapefruit and the shade Guava. Grapefruit is just a true color cream liquid blush, whereas this one, if you can see up here, has just ever so slightly a little bit of a gold sheen in there, but they're both so pretty. And they are exactly what they sound like. When it says water blusher, it is truly kind of like a watercolor situation for your cheeks, and I just love them. They're so easy to work with. They look really natural regardless of what color you work with, because it is so sheer and it does set down into the skin. They might remain ever so slightly dewy, but they do set down and settle into the skin, and you can see the skin coming through, which really makes these look very natural and very, very beautiful. Plus, who doesn't want to pretend that they're putting nail polish on their face? I ask you. This next blush formula is something that you would have heard a lot about from me on my channel over this summer, and that is the MAC Glow Play blush formula. I have two shades here. The first one I purchased was this one right here called Cheeky Devil. It's a beautiful, very light pink. In fact, if you're any deeper than my skin tone, this definitely will not work for you, and I would recommend going with one of the other pinks in the range. This is something that will mostly work for me during the winter, I'm thinking, or spring when I'm very, very pale. But my true favorite color, and definitely a winner for the season for me, was the shade So Natural, and it really is so natural. These are the shades right here. So natural. Something about it looks like a natural flush on my skin, not like what I'm wearing today, which is a little brighter. And then here's what I'm talking about. The pink Cheeky Devil is very, very light. It would look ashy on anyone that is any darker than I am right now. So definitely not an inclusive shade here, but I do think So Natural is a beautiful shade and can definitely be built up quite a bit more than the pink. So I just love this putty texture to these. They're not even like, let me show, I'm gonna push my finger, see? Has made an indentation there. These are not like the ColourPop Super Shock Cheeks. These are not like anything that I've really tried. Maybe the thing that I would most closely relate it to would be like the Stila Heaven's Hue highlighters that are also like a putty that you can press your finger into. But it makes them so creamy, but then they do set down completely, that you don't remain dewy on the cheeks or anything like that, but they do look absolutely stunning and skin-like. Next we have the e.l.f. Bite Size Cheek Duos, and I really love these. I love the formula of both the blush and the highlighter across the board, but I happen to have two favorites from the summer. The first favorite is the one that I'm wearing today, both blush and highlight. You can just see it's such a beautiful formula, and that one is in the shade Guava. It's a beautiful corally blush with this highlight here, and it's the one that's swatched up top here. The thing that's really interesting about these cheek duos is that the highlighters are not whatsoever as dark as they look in the pan, in my estimation. I mean, this one's about as dark as I can go, but I really like the formula. Like I said, overall, the blush is just silky and smooth, pigmented, but not too pigmented, beautifully buildable. I would say I probably put 3 or 4 layers of blush on today just because I personally love a blushy look, if you don't already know that about me. But my other favorite was definitely this one, which is Watermelon. And, you know, if I had to name these little duos, I would call this one Watermelon and this one Guava. But this is Watermelon, and it's a really pretty, like, peachy pink with a little bit of dustiness to it, and then this beautiful highlighter. Again, this highlighter right here is not at all what it looks like in the pan. It's very, I don't know, just glossy. That is, I guess, the best adjective I have for these highlighters in this collection of duos, is that they're very glossy on the skin, almost sheer, letting the skin shine through, which makes it just look absolutely stunningly radiant. And I highly recommend these for only $3. I'm looking forward to getting more use out of some of the other colors for the fall, so stay tuned for that. And then the very last blush formula that I totally fell head over heels for, kind of in just the last month or so of summer, is the Nudestix Nudies Matte Blush and Bronze Shades formula. You get the thing. I have started out with this one, which is called Sunkissed. I love it because it's a very bronzy blush. So I do like to take it up on my forehead, and it just kind of makes everything a little bit more cohesive when I'm carrying the blush shade up onto my forehead. It makes it look more natural, more actually sun-kissed. And then the full-size one that I picked up most recently is in the shade Beach Babe. And this is a beautiful shade for me. I've mentioned it in other videos in the past that to me, this is the perfect like sunburny shade. When I apply this, and especially when I carry it across my nose along with my bronzer and maybe a little at the top of the forehead, it actually looks like what my skin looks like if I would allow it to burn, which I haven't, thank goodness, for the last few years. So these are the shades. Go ahead and laugh, they're very similar. But Sunkiss is definitely more brown, and Beach Babe has a lot more red rosy tone to it. So I'll go ahead and just blend them out just a little bit for you so you can get a picture of what they would look like diffused on the skin with a brush or a sponge. I really love this formula. So many cream products end up staying dewy on the skin, and that's okay, but when I'm looking for longevity in my makeup, I'm definitely looking for matte blush. And this is a fantastic formula. It doesn't budge. I also love that it's multi-purpose. I've used both of these also on my lips, and I really enjoy the formula for that, which again is exceptional because so many lip and cheek products are either really good on the cheeks and feel terrible on the lips, or vice versa. And I like the formula of this for both purposes. You can also wear them on the eyes. I haven't tried that yet, but I really like this formula and would highly recommend. I would like to try one of their dewier formula. I think those are the blooms, the nudie blooms, yes. And those stay more dewy on the skin, but that would be something that would be more appropriate for my skin during the winter, so you never know. And then one last product for the complexion that I absolutely fell in love with this summer and already ordered a backup, even though I'm not really in the habit of doing that. I don't want to be without this for as long as possible, and that's the Milani Make It Last Fruit Fetish Setting Spray in the scent Mango Coconut. Oh my goodness. First of all, I love the formula of this setting spray. I had never tried the Make It Last before, and I've now been converted to someone who loves that spray. I think it really helps set down my makeup as well as the powders on my face, but it really does increase the longevity of my makeup in my opinion. Now, this has a pretty direct mister on here, and the way this bottle is, you can't take the top off, or if I did, it would ruin the bottle. So what I do is I spray it directly on my beauty blender, and then I go in and press over the areas of my face where I want to set, where I want to set powders down, things like that. So I highly recommend these. If you can still get your hands on them, I would still love to try the Dragon Fruit Peach one, but I've been getting these from Ulta because I haven't seen them in my local Target, unfortunately. So I really, really love this. I can't believe it's another product that's like OG YouTube that I'm kind of sore at myself for not trying sooner. One lip formula that has sort of swept the BeauTube atmosphere this summer, possibly a little bit in spring too, but mostly summer, are the Revlon Glass Shine lipsticks. These are phenomenal. I would equate these to something similar to the L'Oreal Coloris Shine or other formulas that are similar to this, where it's more of a tinted, balmy texture. You're not going to get longevity out of these, and I honestly, in my opinion, would steer clear of any bold colors in these because they are so balmy. But I like the balminess of these. I like the L'Oreal Coloris Shine, and I do think that they have a little bit more longevity than these from Revlon, but I think these do more in terms of nourishing my lips. They've also definitely gotten the Shine Factor award from me because the L'Oreal Coloris Shines, while they are shiny, this is like a lip gloss. So here are the shades that I have. I'm really pleased with the three that I picked out here. So I have Glazed Mauve, which is definitely like a My Lips but better shade for me. This is very similar to my actual lip shade. So I love a shade like this in L'Oreal Color Shine Varnished Rosewood, excuse me, is very similar. And then we have this beautiful peachy nude right here, which is called Nude Illuminator. And then this one I just had to pick up. I thought it would be fun for fall. I haven't got a ton of use out of it yet, but it is the Shine, the Glass Shine lipstick of one of my favorite lipsticks, the Super Lustrous lipsticks, and that is Rum Raisin. And as you can see, these are quite shiny and quite balmy. These are great to chuck in your purse if you need to apply something without a mirror or what have you. I realize we're not reapplying lipstick and things like that much right now, wearing masks out in public, but there will come a day when this is all over. I pray. So I really love these. These were great for summer because while a lot of people tend to suffer from chapped or dry lips during the winter, I tend to more so suffer with that during the summer, being out in the sun and, you know, the hot weather. And these are the perfect formula to just nourish but also look a little bit more put together. One more complexion product, because I don't have my ish together today, is the Nabla Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder. I have mine in the shade Privilege. This is beautiful. This is the only highlighter I'm leaving out for my move because it's the only one I want to wear lately. I love the ones in the e.l.f. duos, but this is again something that looks like glass skin as it indicates by the name, but I also just really love this color. It's peachy, it's pinky, it's champagne, has a little bit of a light gold to it, and when it's on the skin it just looks like glass. Like, I can't get over it. So many people talk about glass skin makeup routine, etc. But this really and truly, no matter what you put it under or over, just gives that glass skin effect that I think is absolutely stunning. And I can't get enough of this. I am reining myself in on not buying any more shades of this. Right, and then real quick, we're going to talk about 4 palettes that I absolutely love from this summer, and then we're going to get into my fall wish list. First and foremost, you've seen me use this a ton, and you will see some looks coming up from this while I'm on my moving break, but it is the Alter Ego Sahara palette. This is meant to be the dupe for the Biba palette. And while I think it's pretty similar, I do think the Biba palette is a little bit more special. This does not have the cream to powder formula in it like the ARTEMIS palette does. And so these are mostly mattes and things like that. And honestly, this palette has made me want the Biba palette more because I love the colors in here, but I really love that very unique cream to powder formula that Natasha Denona has in the Biba palette. So I'm still lusting after Biba, but this was definitely something worth trying out and seeing if I actually use these colors, and I did a ton this summer. And while we're talking about Alter Ego and the ARTEMIS palette, she was also a favorite for me this summer. This actually does have the like cream to powder putty like formula in here. In fact, there are only 2 true mattes up here, these 2 shades, and that's okay with me because I actually feel like the cream to powder formula in here performs better than the matte formula. The matte formula is good, but the cream to powder formula is excellent. I love all the shades in here. I think this is going to be fabulous for fall. I did do 7 looks with this palette, so I'll link that in the description box for you in case you have this or you're on the fence about purchasing it and you want some inspiration or more information. But this was a total win. I'm glad I didn't buy Metropolis because I do love this, but the color story is very specific for me and it's something I'm going to use for specific reasons and specific times of the year. And then the last affordable palette from the summer, and I think everybody sort of fell in love with this palette that tried it, and that is the e.l.f. Retro Paradise palette. I've been saying for a while now how much these 18 pan palettes are underrated. I have several in my collection besides this one, but this was really fun. It was the first one that they sort of themed, and this is definitely summer in a palette. I also see this transitioning into fall very beautifully, and I just had a blast playing with this palette. Again, I did a video where I did 4 looks, I think it was, and I will link that down below for you. And last, but certainly not least, is the palette I'm wearing today, and that is the Natasha Denona Bronze Palette. I love this palette. Today I went in with Suntan, and then I blended it out with this corally pink shade that I used for my blush today. And then I went in with this shade right here, which is called Bliss, and it's kind of like a pinky greeny duochrome. And then I used a little bit of Magma in the outer corner. Love. Oh, and I used the highlighter from this duo on the inner corner. So that's it. Sigh. That is it for my summer favorites. I realize that it's quite extensive and this video is already long, but I wanted to just briefly and quickly go over a few of the things that I have on my wish list to pick up during fall. All right, so the first thing is a liquid lipstick from Persona Cosmetics. I've yet to try any lip products from Persona Cosmetics, and I'm very keen to do so. So I have 3 different lip products from Persona on my list. The first one is the Season 1 Matte Liquid Lip in the shade Phoenix. This is described as a fiery red, and I don't have a red like this in my collection, but I really want one. I think it'll not only be fun for fall and even maybe the holidays, but also for summer. I think I'll get a lot of use out of it, and I like to wear a red in a long-lasting formula, so I think that would be a good one for me, as well as 2 of the Season 1 glosses in the shade Coral and Toffee. I think both of these are beautiful. I hear a lot of good things about the Persona gloss formula, as well as the Buxom Full On Lip Cream in the shade Spiked Apple Cider. I actually saw this product applied by Emily Noel shortly before I started filming this video, and it's definitely a color I would like to have for the fall, and it smells good and the whole thing. Plus, I haven't tried a Buxom Full On Lip Cream, only the Full On Lip Polish, which is the shiny formula. So let me know down below if you tried both formulas and do you think one is better than the other? Let me know. The next couple of things I would like to try this fall are from Nudestix. You may be able to tell that I'm on a little bit of a Nudestix journey here. I just am very brand curious, and so I would like to try a few more things. The first one is the Nudestix Plush Paint in the shade Sweet Sangria. The thing that excites me about this product is that it's moussey and it's meant for the lips, but you absolutely can use it on the face as well, and I love the idea of that monochromatic type of look. So same with the matte blush sticks. You can use it on your lips and your cheeks, and then you just have that beautiful cohesive look where everything just sort of plays together really nicely. And then the other one from Nudestix is the Smoky Nude Glow Set. It has multiple products in there, and this one I felt like it was a better price point than the last one they put out, which was $75. So I would really like to try those things this fall. Also, there's a new shade in the Milani Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumpers. You know I love those. I have one on today, although it's kind of worn away. And this is in the shade Rosy Bronze. Also saw Emily Noel apply this in a video recently, and I just thought it was such a pretty fall gloss shade, and I love that formula. And then lastly, I would really like to pick up the classic MAC powder blush in the shade Melba. I think it would be a beautiful everyday blush. I really love the MAC formula of powder blush, and that one's on my wish list. And then just a couple of things from Sephora and we'll be done. The first one is the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blush in the shade Joy, which is described as a dewy, muted peach, and it just looks stunning. I've seen several people trying out the brand, which, if you aren't aware, was created by Selena Gomez, and I just really like the whole aesthetic of the brand, and I think that this might be a product to kind of dip my toe in and see what I'm thinking about it. And there's a new line of lip glosses I've seen at Sephora from Tower 28, and that is their Shine On Milky Lip Gloss. The shade I'm interested in is called Cashew, and it's described as a milky rosy brown. Again, with the rosy brown, rosy bronze. You see what I'm saying here? I need some lip glosses for fall. And then, like I mentioned when talking about the Sahara palette from Alter Ego, I still really want the Biba palette. So I put the Biba palette on there. I may not pick it up this fall, but if I don't pick it up in fall, I'm probably going to ask for it for Christmas. I personally still have a really hard time swallowing the $129 price tag, but I really feel like I would use the snot out of that palette, and so I may ask for it as a gift. And then last but not least is a fragrance that I've had on my wish list forever, and that is the YSL Black Opium Eau de Parfum. And I just really love, it's a musky, spicy kind of scent that's very rich, very appropriate for fall and winter in my opinion. And the only reason I haven't purchased it before now is because I was working on other perfumes. Perfumes do not last forever, folks. So I like to limit myself to maybe one fragrance for, you know, each season, something like that. And that is it. Oh my goodness. If you stuck around all the way to the end, please put a sunshine emoji down in the comments. I'm just curious how many people made it all the way through. And I would love to hear what some of your summer favorites were, or some things that are on your wish list to pick up this fall. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, you could give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out here on the platform. And I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful summer into fall makeup days. And I will see you in my next video real soon. That was rough.